I've been working with him.
I worked with his son, Lawrence Ho.
Excuse me, sir. So what do you do for a living, sir?
I develop hotels.
So how long have you been doing that?
Long time.
And what is the biggest lesson you ever learned from your industry?
Work hard and be very prepared for any eventuality.
Do you believe that the diplomas, like the master or the PhD, do they really matter?
It mattered to me. I think the sense of accomplishment empowers you to do bigger and better things. And in my case, strictly personally in my case, I was a very different person after going through years of education than I was before.
You got a diploma of master?
MBA.
What do you think is the secret of business?
I'm going to go back to the same basic principle, is that you can have all the education in the world, but until you roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty, you're really not of very much value to anybody. And the way to get ahead in life is by demonstrating your value. Coming out of a good university or a good graduate school and applying and getting a job doesn't really mean much. What means something is what you accomplish, what you do, and the value you create. That's what matters.
What if we can end up this video with one quote that you want to share with the younger generation? What would it be?
I'll put it into context because you're a student and you're getting an education. What I have learned is that your diploma doesn't really mean much. It gets you in the door, but it doesn't keep you in the door. You've got to work very, very hard to elevate yourself. It has nothing to do with where you came from. So what is your unique skill? It's a general question, but for any foreigner, you need to have a unique skill to get a work permit in there.
I actually have a really clear business plan. Do you mind if I can give you a brief introduction about it?
What is your business plan about?
I want to make a platform or an app where people can find out any different skills, including English, language learning, or even like cooking to be a good chef or a swimming coach. Only teaching English is not really enough for me.
I think working in the U.S. physically versus having an app are two very different things. You don't need a work permit to have an app. There's no governance.
I have to offer some jobs to the local people, right? So that I can stay here legally. I don't want to work for anybody.
If you want to stay here, you don't want to work for somebody else, which makes it harder. So you want a general work permit that enables you to be a consultant or an advisor or run your own company or whatever. That's very hard to get.
Thank you, Nicholas. I really appreciate it, especially for the part you're mentioning about Stanley Ho. You have been working with him?
I worked with his son, Lawrence Ho.
What do you think of him and his son?
Mr. Ho was a leader. He established gaming in Macau. They call him the king of gaming. You can only applaud his courage and expertise.
What is the biggest impact that he has on you or on the younger generation?
He provided a lot of jobs, thousands of jobs in a place like Macau, which was, prior to him, quite small and sleepy. Then you have suddenly 13 casinos owned by Stanley Ho. Maybe he employed 20,000 people. It's a lot.
Which one do you believe is going to be the most popular or the most beneficial one?
Baccarat. It's the most popular game for Chinese.
Do you know Mahjong?
Yeah, but it's not really a gambling game. It's more entertainment. Baccarat first, maybe blackjack second, maybe poker third.
Is that going to be a weakness for the Chinese people?
I don't know if I would call it a weakness. I was in that business, so I liked it when more people came. I think it's a leisure time that people choose to spend their money on. And if they weren't doing that, they'd be doing something else.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Bye,
for your
everybody.
words.